he's just macroing up. Still going into, he's going to go into mass MM right now. Marines, Marauders, and Medivacs, very common. And here comes the major push. These Thor's not as handy as usual, doing splash damage, but doing extra damage only usually versus... Ooh, some of those tanks are able to pick up a lot of damage over here. Burrow Roach coming in. I have no Durric, double tearing to be able to scan those when they can. No tunneling claws just of yet. We've seen. I guess these Thors were able to pick up a lot of damage. They still do splash even though it's not extra versus armored. Here comes those masslings that are going to be picking up these Thors very well, but army's just too big right now. Need more mass roaches. Also, the income is just still way higher. So 2v4s right now pulling off really well. Oh man, just missed a major drop over here done by Sanyu, able to pick off that command center. And a bunch of units, but tanks in the right position. Able to pull us off. Here comes another MM drop, going to be at the expansion of Poison. Tanks dropping back to pull those off at a nice distance. I think it would have been slightly smarter to look that up as soon as possible. At least they'd only take damage from the Marines, not the Marauders. Marauders have the extra damage versus the armor. Poison going to be expanding on his dead players' expansion. Here comes the MMM army again of Sanyu, going to be dropping in and taking out this expansion as well. Expansion lifting up Marauders, forcing him to try and take out this gas. And yes, this is definitely going to be taken out. That is not a saved building at all. So a lot of damage happening over here, and nice tank army. Too much defense, I would have to say, for himself. He should be pushing out along with his buddy. At the same time, Zerg base over here being taken out by the Alpha Poison army. Poison has not rebuilt his base and is being revealed. All his command centers have been sniped out by Sanyu, so they do know what buildings he has right now. I'm not really sure if that gives him vision of his buddies as well. Nope. Has rebuilt their base. It's no longer being rebuilt. So he just knows what kind of buildings he has. Exactly. Here comes another army push, but now a lot of mass roaches and MM should be able to take this out. These Thor is only going to be more effective against the Marines, and this army just needs to be more tank heavy to take this out. And now Sanyu. There we go. Nope, still no upgrades for Sanyu as well. Probably should have started that. He's really high on his minerals and his gas. But he's doing really well in his micro and his drops, which is keeping Alpha, or Poison, from keeping his expansions up. So command centers over here, 1, 2, going to be recapturing those. Another Marine tank army is going to be pushing up on the left side. At least they're going to be checking. Bob Saget does know whether or not they'll be expanding over here. They have scouts over here. Doom X Marine also knows over here. So Alpha checking the quick expansion, or maybe gonna pull some tanks and get a scan. Haven't thought about that, but that would be a useful method of harassment. No, but gonna be there we go. So we have a few rings, a few Hellions over here. Getting sniped fairly easily, but try to pick up as much damage as they can. They'll pick up a couple little SCVs on the way out. And there they go, they're down. So movement finally coming in. And Alpha takes this great opportunity to pull out, but stim attack coming in from Sanyu, going to be able to pick this up very easily, clean it up. But a lot of damage still happening because of his Thors, because he's back tanks. Oh man, 4, 3, 1 kills. I thought they would get more than that, but they did do a lot of damage at all. Roach is going to come in and pick off these tanks very easily. In general, I just think Alpha and Poison should be able to pull this off. They just push at the same time. Right now, Pink recovering his base, going to be taking a double expansion, but not much of an income. We're going to go back to the income tab. Only at 13 right now. Green Harvesters at 34. Alpha high at 66 on 2 expansions. Very open expansions. They have a very good defense over here. And there's how many ramps we go? 1 ramp. We also have 2 ramps, and they're just content with being next door. Dumex Marine, I'm not really sure what he's doing right now, but he has no minerals, no gas. I think he's just handing all of his gas and minerals off to his buddies because they're already teched up. He says, you guys, I have no production buildings. I'll just be your harvester. I wonder if he's also doing any of the micro. So another Sanyu army over here, going to be rechecking to see if that expansion was ever taken. Yellow gonna be Bob Saget gonna be pushing out by himself, see if he can take out the army alone, and ooh, bunch of pushing in on that. I think this army should be able to do it. Up to 2-1 right now, and versus a 1-1 army. There's another drop down by Sanyu, and tanks over here just slightly out of range. Command Center running as far as possible. And Hellions, Blue Flame Hellions gonna come in and try and snipe that. Tanks of poison also coming in, and there goes the army of Sanyu. I think they should just invest in a. Does any of them have starports? I don't see any starports on this side. They do have Thors. You know, 1 or 2 Thors just placed right here would be great turrets. They, you know, pro matches. On the other hand, we have Alpha here pushing out, and that army should easily wipe out Alpha's army once again. Poison a little bit too concerned about protecting his own bolts. Alpha over here pushing out alone, just gonna get taken out. I wonder what his economy is at. He's at 2k minerals right now. Think of it. I really don't. I think he was just maxed out 200 right there. So now he has a lot of room to remake units. He's gonna go into Green Thors, getting up a couple reactors just to pour as much of his money into that as possible. Back at the income tab I was talking about earlier, Sanyu sitting at 36 harvesters. Alpha's still really high right now. Poison saying okay at 28, and Yellow. Bob Saget saying that we should really attack this because they've had that for way too long. I don't really agree with pushing on the left side. I think they just need a couple of scouts to, you know, 3 Greens over here would make sure that no one is expanding off on the left side and they wouldn't have to push out. Split their forces just as usual. We'll get this out of the way. It's just not helping too much. And here comes Sanyu's M&M drops over here. No Vikings infested yet. Another command center. I think he was thinking about taking this expansion as well. And the M&M army is just going to take out a lot of SCVs. A lot of SCVs canceling that command center. This command center doesn't look like he's going to make it out either. Here comes the Marine Tank 4 army of Alpha. And just about time to go. So Sanyu's decided to try and fight this as much as possible. But these tanks over here are able to take out a lot of damage. And amazingly, all of the medevacs is able to escape out from this. Over here we have another push just destroyed by Bob Saget and Sanyu as well. And an Overlord taken from one of the dead player or teammates of Poison. Amazing, it's still going. Alpha finally figured out that there was an expansion here this entire time. They did not even know they were neighbors, and Dumex Marine chooses to run. Funny that he keeps his only barracks as if he's going to make any units. A lot of SCVs over here. He was going to decide to take that spot, I guess. Gonna have to choose out to move off to the left side over here. So right now Alpha and Poison doing very well holding their own, but they just keep splitting their forces, and Poison keeps going left and Alpha keeps going right. There's just not enough to break any of the defenses right now. Here he goes, Alpha pushing his own forces off to the right again, gonna be countered by some roaches, definitely not enough roaches. No tanks nowadays, so we have 2 anti-light. There's the other army right now. Those will definitely be enough roaches to take out all of those. Wow, that's big. We got pink roaches, got green M&M versus box roaches. That's not happening. So M&M roaches finally getting the guts to push out. I think they should have done it a little while ago. Signs are taking out that red expansion. These roaches still sitting at 1-1, but with that tunneling, they're going to be able to regain health very quickly. They're going to take out this green marauder army. No investments in any of their upgrades. No ups on those. We got 1-1 Thors searching for those roaches. Roach decided to pull back, and so is the M&M army of Sanyu after a quick snipe of that expansion of poison. Alright, Dumex Marine deciding to go ahead and take the gold, as if he's still, you can see his minerals and gas have been very low. He's been feeding a lot of his resources to his teammates. I don't know which teammate has been getting it. Whoa, Sanyu over here saying 2K, 2K. Very high. What? Still no upgrades? Tis Sanyu. I thought you would know better than that. Get double engineering base. Do you even have engineering?